up this post and never posted anything, or maybe I tried and got tech ushered out sort of thing. So I do apologize, my lovers. Collective intuitions I typically endeavor to do at the beginning of the month. Although increasingly I'm finding, certainly in this community, our sort of timelessness, you know, like living in this space of timelessness, like what is time anymore, what is the day of the week, what is it, you know. So really, whenever we come across information, if we're resonating with it, it's totally there for us. So many amazing profound shifts happening within the collective. Some of the main information or sort of messages that I'm receiving for myself, and again, some of you might resonate. I'm really endeavoring to get back into my journaling and writing and dream weaving and spending more time in quietude to get really clear about what my genuine heartfelt desires are at this point. I think it's always good for us to give ourselves an opportunity to reflect and rest. And that's another layer, like continuing is just our personal self-care, our ability to harmonize and really kind of own the relationship dynamics that we're in. And then, of course, to empower our personal freedom when it comes to how we're showing up in the world. And when I say that, I am meaning, you know, how we work, how we make money, or how we trade our skills, right? I feel that definitely on just like a I guess like basic level or a simple level. Like we're living in times of I think incredible groundedness, and our ability to simply offer our skill set in exchange for whatever it is that we're needing, right? And so certainly I think the more people that break free, that wake up, that suddenly go like, wait, what am I actually doing, what am I chasing, why am I doing these things, the more we will sort of bleed into more local, and I guess you could say sort of tribal organization. But this is part of that quantum leap aspect, is that we're not living in an isolated tribal consciousness, we're living in a global tribal consciousness. So we're sort of breaking off into our local communities and or having a greater awareness of our soul tribe, our soul familia, right? The people that really be resonating from a standpoint of vibrating the change, right? Like being and leading by example, making use of our vital energy in a way that serves us personally for our own personal well-being, and thus we know that that is serving the greater whole, right? So this month has really been there's this sense of deeper quietude, but then that's also warranting more self-care, more self-rest, more you know, self-love, whatever that looks like for you, and to really pull back. And that is something that is like incredibly challenging for a lot of people, especially in our sort of cultural program, because there's so much around like be productive, be important, be ambitious, like make things happen. And the interesting, I would say, energetic, almost counterintuitive energy of this month is that the energies are really saying like, don't go get it, don't profess to know, like let yourself be in that reflective void, let yourself be in that energy of not knowing, right? Like surrender knowing. um because increasingly I feel that as more humans awaken to their own innate power, what really increasingly won't feel good or doesn't feel good is one person or a kind of institutional body claiming, you know, this is the way, this is how everyone has to live, or and that of course is part of the bifurcation, or part of the increasing polarization that we're seeing, is that divisive construct, divide and conquer. As long as everybody's fighting and pointing fingers at one another, like on a ground level, then we're not organizing ourselves to empower greater living change. And yet that is certainly my own awareness here now, that is part of the surrender piece, is that what one human shouldn't know and have all the answers for everybody else, right? Indeed, we are constellations, energetic clusters of resonance, and that resonance is ultimately our power to create the world that we're desiring. So something that I'm witnessing in my soul tribe, in the people that I know on an international level that I'm connected with through the media, And then the people that I'm vibrating with on the physical 3D dimensional level, like that's part of the bringing our fifth dimensional consciousness into our 3D reality, is that at this point, every human that I'm engaging with on some level is into gardening, is into nature, is into looking after the planet, is is working on their land and or intending to buy land. People that are very humble and grounded and, you know, simple, and I say that with a sense of humility, of course, and like absolute reverence. But the simplicity is not to do with intelligence, right? The simplicity has to do with our approach to life and the perspective that we're able to harmonize with through nature, right? Through reconnecting to nature's cycles, to nature's speed and the way it works. And that's helping us to harmonize and heal ourselves, which then increasingly, the more we align with that higher harmonic of our true divinity, the less and or the more distorted that mechanical separation consciousness world view really is, right? So we're now we're still very much bridging, but increasingly, certainly in this community and this month's activations, because we're now moving into these eclipse portals, which are pretty profound shape-shifting energies to anchor in again these higher timelines. Which this is part of that final piece of truly let go, truly release the idea that you think you're in control, or that like you got to manifest harder, or you got to think more positive, or you got to just go out there and be productive and busy and important, when it's almost like the reverse of that. It's more to do with actually like aligning yourself with your higher self, aligning yourself with your broader vision, dreaming, fantasizing, you know, like all the things that really essentially feel good to you. You're allowed to just do that and drop into that. And I get it. It can be almost uncomfortable, you know, because our old program or old construct or old sense of self is a powerful phantom kind of menace, right? And yet increasingly, the more of us who resonate here, certainly, the more your truth, divinity, the light body essence that has been kind of calling you all along, that is what's really emerging. Hence why we're beginning to see more of the divine apparition that have been guiding us all along. And these manifestations now on these higher levels are truly the new foundation for what we're calling the new earth. Or again, it's not a fantastical delusional thing. It's simply the rollout of our implementation of better systems, right, that support everybody ideally. Like there's, again, I think that at this stage in the game, like I don't see the point. Why do we need to make excuses? Or why, like, everybody can be fed, everybody can be housed, everybody can be looked after truly and genuinely when we have an open heart and a desire for the ultimate well-being for all of the humans and all of the creatures, right? And it's not about being utopian or delusional. It simply has to do with a certain I want to say sort of a prophetic vision of a humanity that can align themselves to frequencies of love, compassion, wisdom, and be led from that energetic base tone, right, through conscious and compassionate leadership, and that will then eventually take over. And it's not about a quick fix taking over tomorrow, right? Again, like that's a delusional representation, but it does. And any of us on this kind of awakening or conscious manifestation journey, like in truth, any of us that be vibrating that can really testify to the profundity of the work, and also the reality of why we're being asked to truly let go. Because it's not about any one individual. This is a human collective quantum leap of consciousness that's taking us into, thank God, higher base tones. At the same time, everything of that lower base tone is being purged and healed, and ultimately, often, completely dissolving. It's like there's aspects of our systematic construct that are just going to bottom out from underneath us. There won't be anything to support us or hold on to necessarily. And that's part of these spiritual tenets of our own personal awakening, and sharing that for more and more people to open up to it, because so much of the world that people have attached their identity to are not really going to withstand. So then who are they? Right? And we all know that part of that discovery has to do with turning within, getting to know your mental, emotional, and to me, really, our mental, emotional body is how we relate to our spirituality, or how we relate to our higher self, our intuition, our soul essence, our blah blah, whatever word, right? Whatever word you want to attach to it, it has to do that to the fact that your presence on this planet is beyond your body, is beyond your physical manifest reality. Every single one of us is connected in the beyondness. And that's how we recognize one another. That's how we know each other from beyond. That's what pulls us into certain relationship dynamics and breaks those relationship dynamics apart. Is that this isn't, for a lot more people, this is a divine recognition that this is not the first time you've been here. Oh, hello, Rochelle! Rochelle! There is a song. It's not Rochelle, but I think it's Michelle. And it's like I'm thinking of some sexy man singing like, Michelle, what am I supposed to? But of course, Rochelle, I don't know the words. That's just how we roll here. Mind the sweat pits if I'm dripping everywhere. I do apologize, but not from a place of like, I'm sorry, but just from a place of like, it's like having a big black something in my teeth. I'd be like, oh, pardon me, Rosanna. Oh, but then you're making me think of another one, Roxanne. But again, that's I don't know the words. I don't know. Every step you take, yeah. Every move you make, right? Yeah. So I mean, I was about. Michelle, my mega hot love vibratory for Rochelle. I'll pull some cards since you're here, Rochelle. Let's just see what we get for this collective. So, again, from the mid-month onward, so I'm live, and then from the mid-month, I will endeavor to do most of the signs live, and I usually get 2 or 3 done in a day, sometimes just one. So tomorrow I'll endeavor to start us off with Aries, right? And then, yeah, go from there. And today I'm just a bit late for the collective intuitions. I mean to go live at the beginning of the month, but here we are. Oh, hello, Wings. There's another song coming to me, Wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Oh my God. So there's the biggest takeaway I would say for the month in the collective energy flow is like, let yourself rest, let yourself reflect. Writing, I've been getting like, write down your intentions, really drop in, come away a little bit, even from myself, like come away from external energies that maybe want to dictate to you how to be in the world, or tell you how you should show up. Like if those are trigger points for us, we can of course deal with our own personal triggers, but then get right down into the root of what direction we're personally wanting to go in. It's raining here, raining like, I don't know, I was gonna say something like raining like it is in sunny Denver. Like, what the arse? All right, my lovers. My lover, Michelle. So let's just pull a few cards to get a sense of the collective messages and divine guidance and loving clarity for the collective. We're in mid-month now, mid-month of May. Again, that message of mega self-care. This is really, really abundant energy. And of course, it would reflect a lot of what I was sort of interpreting here. I do feel there's a death process with regard to like not believing in yourself, feeling forlorn, feeling like you're not gonna get there, feeling like people are just gonna fucking deceive you all the time, feeling like your world is out of reach, and yet allowing this death process to occur. And I would dare say this is the month up until that eclipse, the Sagittarian eclipse at the end of the month, which is going to just shape shift a lot of people's realities. And that's why the death energy is here. And again, when you be resonating with these sorts of energetic, intuitive, empathic channels, it really, and when it resonates, it feels into the collective's alignment, right? So it's like when we're certain energetic constellations, we can all be going through a very similar energy dance. Even, of course, our circumstances will look all very different, but on an energetic level, it's standing down abuse of power. It's empowering our personal freedom as the divine balanced humans that we have the capacity to be. It's knowing your intuition. And this is actually significant, right? Because you're now in this reflective space, allowing the death process to occur. And this is what's actually bringing you into a deeper connection to your intuition. This is very powerful and abundant. I don't feel like this is necessarily like mega million lotto winning kind of abundance, but this is the reward of inner work. This is the energy that's coming to, is like you're in your power. You recognize that part of creation is destruction, and so you're like allowing certain things to be destroyed. You might well be allowing certain people to leave your reality. You might be, for some of you, it's always a challenge, right? But for some of you, this could be a death as well. This could be losing someone close to you that has been part of your world for a very long time. Okay, and this is also, I mean, gosh, golly, it's never. It's like, yes, we all want our lives to be like sunshine and rainbows. I mean, in fact, that's part of toxic positivity on our social media and all this weird influencer celebrity culture, right? Is that, yeah, we want to sell the hey, Ed Kemper, how are you? We all want to sell all the lovely stuff, feel fantastic, and yet the truth of our existence is there's a whole bunch of polarity, and actually there's a lot of shitty fucking bullshit darkness in our reality that every single one of us has to be able to own up to, face it down, and step into greater love, step into greater light for at least our own personal reality. Right? Like, without getting too involved in everybody else's world, like, what is it that you want? What isn't serving you anymore, right? So if you let go of all the stuff that ain't serving you, you step into your intuitive wisdom and you become one with your higher self. And that's the merging of our higher consciousness into these bodies, and it's not something intellectual like, what am I thinking of right now? It's not something intellectual that we think our way into. It's something that we're expanding and contracting into. Like, we're riding the wave of consciousness into these higher dimensions, which again, it's not something in our head. It's felt. It's viscerally felt. It's tangible in our experience of living this life and knowing that we're no longer operating from disempowered victimhood consciousness, and and that I think loops me back into saying that's why when we're be really aware of anybody trying to sell a dream or sell a lifestyle that is just like pure abundant love and bliss, because none of us are here to call out or to kind of shame people living in super high vibratory. At the same time, to try to sell a product or something that's trying to say to you, one day you will live in pure bliss and that is all that is. It's like, really, maybe we should think more critically about the information that we're ingesting. And straight up legit, that's something that I propagate with Unplugged for Freedom, is like, you are allowed to stop watching TV. In fact, you are allowed to stop watching anything that makes you feel like shit. Especially, and this is always my thing about like mainstream media war propaganda, is like I feel such like trauma and pain of witnessing war-torn countries or witnessing even like just any of that agenda. And what can I do in that moment when I'm watching something where a child is being killed, or like you're just like, oh my God, and like and being so powerless, versus over 10 years now of not watching television, not watching mainstream media. Of course, with all of the media we have around us, I engage, I can still witness, I can still very much be aware of what's going on in the world, but I endeavor to live my life with what I can control. How can I empower my own personal freedom? I can take care of my personal body. I can endeavor to clean up my mind. I can endeavor to be real when it comes to my emotions. I can endeavor, right, to be of service and share the stuff that I'm being called to share. Right? Because I have some amount of control over that. I have some amount of control over how I relate to people. what I cannot directly control is some of the bigger global paradigm issues that are oppressing all of us, or certainly the large majority of us, privileged and non-privileged, blah blah and blue blue. You know, we've been trapped in this delusional lower bass tone of a reality, which is at one moment sort of destroying us, the people, and all of the planet. It would appear, and yet with regards to that biofeedback as of extremity that we can no longer deny, it's our ability to no longer deny the shits that we're in. That, again, this isn't about like sunshine and rainbows and fireflies, everyone. That is all there is. Just stay positive. Well, it's not that. You know, yes, your attitude and your positivity might go a long way, but there's also an element of like getting really, really, really real and grounded, and that is something that none of us can actually dictate, because it's so far beyond my personal life experiences as an individuated aspect of consciousness that I call MJ, adult love, right? So I have this creative vortex going on, but I am in no way able to be the judge and jury for any other human being, you know? Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Do 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 do. Right, I gotta go. Thanks a lot for being here, and my lovely Rochelle. Holla holla holla. No, this is live. Hello, yes it is. It is live. I do like to do the lives, and just with life flow getting busier, I haven't come to edit any videos for a little while. Anywho, I best be out. Mega hot love for my lovers. So I often would do, is it this one? That's like the devil horn vibratory of rock and roll. But I didn't realize this is the surfer. So there's these random pictures of me in Bali being like, yeah, surf. And then I noticed like the guys are actually doing this, which I don't know the difference, but I knew that I was incorrect in my trying to be cool with like hand boggles. But there, look. Anywho, nice to meet you. We'll see you guys real soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Take care.